All right, well, hello from Puerto Rico, Babygrande Golf, and it is rolling on as the season continues to ramp up in the college world. Nick Gismondi, alongside two absolute legends in the business. It is my pleasure to be with Georgia coach Chris Hack and, of course, Virginia coach Bowen Sargent. Gentlemen, welcome to Puerto Rico. Thanks for taking the time with us.
No, we're glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you for doing this.
It's our pleasure. Obviously, Puerto Rico is a destination spot on the calendar every year, especially for teams in that east or maybe even the south, where this year it's a lot more frigid, if you will, than in normal years, of course. Coach, let's start with you. Just sort of shaking the rust off from that winter season. How'd you guys fare? Sort of take me into the lead up to Puerto Rico.
Well, yeah, and anytime you hit the off season in November and December and January, everybody's always anxious to get back. And there's no better feeling than having that on your schedule that you're going to Puerto Rico. You know it's going to be about 85 and sunny just about every day, other than today. For I think it's like 28 years now for me, this is one of the trips that I look forward to coming to more than any. Just to kind of get out of the cold, because no matter where you are in February, it's cold, and everybody's ready to get out of the snow, out of the ice, out of the cold, and get down here and get sunburned a little bit.
I mean, Coach, same situation for you guys. I mean, it's the weather in the East this year has been super weird, but that's, the world that we live in right now. But for you guys as well, your first foray back into action, just take me through what the lead up and the prep was for the boys in Virginia.
Yeah, we made a couple of trips down south to Florida leading into this event, do some qualifying. We were able to do a little bit at home prior to the snowstorm coming in, but we've been practicing and a little bit in Florida, but we're excited to be here and ready to go.
When you guys think about this, and Coach, we'll start with you first since you have the microphone in your hand. That restart, what do you need to do to get the battery going for the guys? What do you need to have sort of as that, okay, we had that lull, we had that break, that Christmas, whatever, now it's time to go?
Yeah, there's always going to be rust. I mean, not many of these guys in the field have played a whole lot. They may have competed, once over Christmas break, but probably not a whole lot. And I think that as a coach, and you kind of expect that. Not to say that this is a warm-up event, because it isn't, but they're not going to be in midsummer form, and we know that at this point. So, they'll use the week in warm weather to get better, and we'll go back home, we'll reload and get better for the next event. But no, they'll be ready, I hope.
Hacker, for you, sort of the same question. Obviously, you qualify for this event, so the boys are ready. It's a destination spot to come because it's Puerto Rico. Anything special you've got to do to sort of kickstart the battery after sitting cold for a little while?
No, but I do think, these guys, it's almost nice to have a little bit of a forced off season. Sometimes they play way too much, and it's kind of nice for them to rejuice their batteries a little bit, get away from the game. Not grind so much, so that when they do come back in January and all of a sudden you do start playing again, that's when the juices get flowing and you get amped up and you get ready to play again. And again, if they didn't have a forced layoff, sometimes they wouldn't know how to take some breaks. And that's something they have to learn. If they're going to go to that next level, there's a reason why those guys don't play every week, because it's a grind. So they've got to learn how to kind of manage themselves.
And again, you have it in your hands, so we'll just ping pong back and forth like that. But this place is obviously a phenomenal golf course. It's a great location to come. The PGA Tour is here in just a little over 2 weeks' time. Talk about the conditions today. Obviously, a little bit soggy, a lot of rain today, a little bit of rain yesterday, but hopefully a little clearer the next 48 hours.
I think the golf course is in about as good a shape as I've ever seen it. It's very green, very lush. You've got, good rough out there. It really is going to be a premium on hitting fairways, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be playing lift, clean, and place. So being able to put your hand on it in a fairway and get a little mud off of it will certainly be a premium for the guys who can drive it straight. But I think the golf course is great. And I always thought it was a great test, and especially for these guys knowing that there's a PGA Tour event here. Again, that's what these guys all aspire to do. So here's a chance to go play a golf course that's going to challenge, some of the best. Get a chance to go see what you can do, see what they do in a month from now.
Sarge, for you, I got to spend time with both of your teams, obviously on the golf course today. And first of all, I've said this on camera before, but I'll say it again. You have the most wonderful young men. I mean, they're completely receptive, they're respectful, they're polite. It truly is a pleasure to see the way that both of you, mold your programs and not only the elite golfers that you're developing and furthering, but just the human beings that you're raising. It really is very special. But the practice round is light today. I mean, obviously you're experiencing the golf course, coach, but they're having fun. They're laughing a little bit. Both of your teams were kind of just a little bit looser. Is that what you want on the practice round day?
Yeah, it's a lighthearted day. Kind of touching on what Chris said. I mean, they're all excited to be here. I mean, how could you
Right.
not be? Get in this great weather, play a great golf course. They're super excited. They're fresh. So it's hard not to be in a great mood when you're here.
Take me through the strategy of the season. So you kick things off in this beautiful place, Puerto Rico. It ramps up exponentially. So how do you what's the burn on the guys to get them to where you want to be? And is it a steady get to where you want to be and then peak at that right time heading into regionals and then obviously hopefully nationals?
Yeah, I mean, I think the goal is always to peak, in April and May. I think every coach aspires to do that. And you can't always control that. I mean, everybody works at different, times. But you do hope your team, plays better in the back end and the front end. But all of these events are important, and I know Chris, they're going to Southern Highlands like we are next, and you play in so many great events along the way that teach you lessons about how to play in the postseason, and you prepare against great teams and great golf courses. All of that certainly helps as we lead into the postseason.
Coach Eck, for you and your group and the schedule that you have coming up, we know about Southern Highlands, excited about that tournament. Obviously, it's a stop in Vegas, another bit of a destination. Take me through sort of your schedule and where you feel the high points are going to be and where you sort of want to see the progression of your group.
Yeah, and you go from a place like this to Southern Highlands, two totally different golf tracks.
Very different
I mean,
golf
it's
courses.
so different.
Very.
And then we'll go from there to the Linger Longer Invitational down at Lake Oconee, then to Augusta, and then on to the Ford down in Savannah before we hit the SECs. But one of the things I like about our schedule and doing things is playing different kind of tracks, playing different golf courses. Try to play hard golf courses where guys have to learn how to take their game on the road. I mean, that's what it's really all about, is that if we're trying to teach these guys, how to manage their games, how to get better, you gotta be able to take it to every golf course that you play. And, it's real easy for guys to play really good back home in their home tracks that they're very comfortable with. Our biggest goal is to try to make guys uncomfortable and try to get them to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And so, that's what's going to mature them. That's what's going to make them a little bit more seasoned players. So I like playing hard golf courses. I like playing good tracks that just challenge all aspects of their games. And like Sarge said, as the season goes on, you just hope they each gain a little bit of confidence and a little bit better understanding of their own games. And what I try to emphasize more than anything is just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. You're going to make mistakes. But if you try to play scared, you're never going to make it in this game. So use every opportunity in playing tournament golf to just really try to push your goals and push your fears and anything that might be holding you back.
Question again for you, and then same question to Sarge. I wondered about that with especially the two of you, and I've obviously had the phenomenal privilege to get to know both of you pretty decently. You are wonderful men, but how do you balance being that nice guy that I know you guys are and the caring, hugging, loving guy to being hard on these guys at some points and making them uncomfortable, as you said earlier?
Well, I mean, I think first of all, you start your year off and you start off your recruiting as well by letting them know what your expectations are. And, once they know what the expectations are in terms of doing things the right way, well, then it's up to them to do it. If they can't do it the right way, they'll weed themselves out pretty quick.
Right.
But if they do things the right way, we'll continue to have fun. and by having fun, you get better and you get more comfortable. So again, I don't look at it as too much of a rocket science thing. It's just kind of common sense. And again, I've had a lot of great players come through our program, but I've also had some pretty good players that I had to move on to other places because they couldn't necessarily do the things that we needed them to do and doing the right things.
Yeah, Coach Sarge, same question for you. I mean, I know that being a head coach comes with balancing that friendship with that. Okay, hey, I got you. Put my arm around you. How tough does that get? And what's your approach with your group? You both have phenomenal players.
I mean, kind of like Chris alluded to. I mean, it takes what it takes, and
Yeah.
you're either willing to do it or you're not. And to be good at our game, it takes a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of discipline, and you either want it or you don't.
Yeah.
And the game's there's so many talented guys out there now. It's hard to separate yourself on talent. There is a lot of discipline, a lot of work that goes into it. So, I tell our guys all the time, it takes what it takes, and you're either in or you're not. So.
I like the ping pong questions here, but same for you. And then back to you, Hack. How important are your assistant coaches in this demeanor? And you both have great ones who are, I mean, I think as highly of them as I do of the two of you. You guys have great guys as your number twos.
Yeah, Dustin, our assistant, Dustin Groves, unbelievable guy. Great player, caddy on the PGA Tour. He's been invaluable to our program. Really helped us a lot in the last 3 or 4 years as our players develop and grow. It's a big part of what we do. I mean, it's hard. It used to be just one coach.
Yeah.
Now we have assistants. Some programs have 3 coaches, but it's a big part of what we do. And, having valuable people, I mean, I can't do it all myself. I don't pretend to. He does a lot more of the work probably than I do. So we lean on those guys a lot. And Dustin's a good one. So we're excited to have him.
Same on your end. I know you guys have a lot of fun with Mookie, and he's been great with you guys.
Yeah, and Mookie's actually my third coach. My second coach is Jim Douglas, who's been with me basically 25 years, and so I have a great mix of guys, and again, they kind of fit our personalities.
Sure.
Is what they is what I like. Douglas is kind of the storyteller, the jack of all trades kind of guy.
Has an answer.
Yeah, Mookie came with more of a playing pedigree because he played for me. He was an All-American for Georgia, played a little bit on the Korn Ferry Tour, and is much more the playing type of guy. And so it's kind of a nice cross mix of they'll get some technical stuff maybe from him. They'll get a little levity from Douglas, and then me just kind of in the middle, just kind of loving on them and letting them know that life goes on, everything's okay.
I just got an opportunity to meet your wife, lovely wife, Rhonda, today. She's here. How fun is it when she can make a trip and bring her into the mix with you all?
No, it makes life as a coach much more easy.
Yeah.
Being able to have her with me and travel with me and go to the great places that we go. And I love it when she's around, because then I let her pick the dinner spots and kind of organize some things.
Team mom.
Yeah, team mom. And she's there to give them hugs coming off the golf course as well. And a lot of times, some of these parents, they never show up or aren't able to get to a lot of tournaments. So she does become a little bit of the mom figure for some of these guys.
I want to talk about your team specifically. Coach, we'll start with your group. Obviously, you've got the number one player in college golf in Ben James, but and this is true for both of your squads, you look down at, there's so much talent, so much diversity, and so much camaraderie. Let's just talk about your group coming into this back half of the season. Sort of where are obviously the strengths, where are you kind of really looking for the field to be strong? Obviously, it falls on the shoulder of Ben to start, but such a good group in your corner. The Lee brothers are playing fantastic golf too.
Yeah, we have a good 5 or 6 guys and have been in that position here for a couple of years. It obviously starts with Ben, as you alluded. Brian's a pretty good number 2.
Not too bad.
But yeah, Josh and Paul and now Michael kind of evolved in the fall and has stepped into the lineup. Great 5 players, and we're just super lucky to have them. it's a great team. They're good guys. They get along really well. I think that's the best thing. Ben and Brian, probably the two most unselfish players I've had ever, and to be as good as they are and to be unselfish, it works down the team from there. And it's great to see guys like that, because it's not always that way. Sometimes you have a lot of egos in what we do, but those two guys are super humble, super good kids, and I think that's why we're as good as we are.
And Coach, same thing on your end. Obviously, Grayson had a wonderful offseason. He played in some events, and his numbers are fantastic. Carter Laughlin playing good. James Earl good. JD's coming up strong for you as a young guy. It feels like we just saw you in the Hamptons, but it's been a good while now. What are you looking at with your core, and what are you expecting out of them?
Yeah, I got a fairly young team because Carter's my only senior, and again, you just want them. You just want these younger guys to kind of learn not to get in their own way. Just kind of learn. I think Sarge would agree with me. College golf is hard. Yeah, how many years you been coaching?
25.
25 years. I've been doing it this year. I think 29 or 30 for me. College golf it's hard to win. It's just a game that just absolutely can frustrate you and bedevil you sometimes, because he's had some great teams here lately. Got a wonderful team again this year, but as he'll tell you, there's no guarantees in anything in this deal. And I've been very fortunate in that we've won it a couple of times, and I never thought those were even my better teams. Those were good teams, but they weren't my best teams. Yeah. Because sometimes the best team doesn't always win, and it's just golf. Golf is hard. So the one thing I try to strive to all of my young guys is that, man, you just got to keep grinding. You just got to put your head down. Don't get mad. Just keep playing. And if you can get better and get to a point where you can compete on this level, things are going to be okay. And so, like he said, his strength of his team right now is not only does he have good top players, but he's got good bottom players too. Mm-hmm. And I've always said the best teams I had were where we were really good in the 4 and 5 spot. Yeah. And if we can get to that point where our 4 and 5 guys are playing pretty well and can compete at the top, then we'll have a pretty good squad.
All right, last question for the two of you before I let you go. I know it is Super Bowl Sunday, so it'll be late here in Puerto Rico. We get like extra time. So just thoughts coming into this first round starts tomorrow. 3 total rounds here. Just your overall impressions and expectations of this tournament for you guys in Georgia.
Well, it's the same that I have for every event. I go into every event not necessarily thinking about winning, but just trying to be competitive. Get ourselves in the hunt. If we can be in the hunt with a chance to win, coming down the stretch, the last 9 holes, well, then that's good, because that's what you want them playing in, with some nerves and learning how to play with nerves and being in contention. If we can do that, then the chips will fall wherever they may at that point. So if we can do that, it'll be a good week.
Coach Sargent, same question for you. Just expectations coming in. You're walking home. You're walking home. You're swimming home.
No, I mean, obviously, you come to every tournament, wanting to win, but that, as Chris mentioned earlier, it's a hard game to win in. It just is. There's a lot of good teams here, and it's early for us, and we're going to just try to do the best we can. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll reload and go to Las Vegas and see what we can do there.
Roll the dice, if you will.
There you go.
See? Once or twice I've done this. Gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for being with us. Thank you very much, both of you, for your time. Seriously, absolute an honor to have you. Legends, absolute legends in the business. My pleasure to have Coach Bowen Sargent and Coach Chris Hack joining us ahead of the Puerto Rico Classic from the Grand Reserve Country Club here in Puerto Rico. Babygrande is with you. Of course we are. From tip to tail. Our coverage begins tomorrow on round 1 coverage. We'll have featured hole coverage for you. You can tune in at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, and we will be with you for most of the day. Same thing on day number 2, and on day number 3, we're going to start a little bit earlier. We'll have that coverage beginning for you shoot at 7 a.m. Eastern time, and we'll be following the lead group. As always, make sure you stick with us on all of our social media. We'll have interviews, features, and updates posted throughout the entire tournament. Don't go anywhere. Babygrande is hanging out with you in Puerto Rico, and we thank you so much for being with us. For the coaches, I'm Nick Gismondi. We will see you tomorrow for round number 1 of coverage on babygrandegolf.com.
Cooking soul.